What is going on, everybody? It's Carmine here. Sorry for the late video. I just finished watching the third episode of The Strain. It isn't as slow as last week, but the pace is picking up and I actually did not get bored at all. I really did enjoy it. More questions are raised about it, and I have to say this. I really do love their take on the vampire transformation and what Del Toro thinks vampires should be. We've all seen the bullshit Twilight movies with them looking like male models that sparkle, and we've all seen the other kind, the True Blood ones, that are slightly more realistic but stay true to some of the myth that vampires in True Blood retain that myth that we all think that vampires are humans who have been transformed with the need to feed on blood. They hate holy water and silver and can't go into daylight, but also can't enter someone's house without being invited, which is all cool and all. So Twilight has vampires for teenage girls, True Blood has vampires for young adults, and The Strain has vampires for those of us who like seeing a more realistic take on the whole thing. Instead of being bitten and buried with a person, the way they're infected is with a capillary worm, which then begins to change them. In this episode, we saw that one man was infected. He was beginning to change drastically and even lost his penis. Yes, he went to the bathroom to take a piss, and as you hear him doing so, his dick falls into the toilet. You don't see that, by the way. His dick falls in, and he flushes it because at that point he doesn't really care. You think that as a vampire, you wouldn't have the need to urinate, which makes the whole thing seem a bit more legitimate. To me, at least. And they make these vampires look almost monstrous in appearance, because once again, we're so used to vampires retaining their youth and whatnot, and these guys just have like these fucked up eyes, and like they're losing all their hair, and they're just so weird in a way, and they're just so they're almost becoming less human and more monster in appearance, which a lot of people are not used to seeing. And that's what I really enjoyed about this episode, and just seeing the transformation and how it's going with all these patients they released. So far, it's pretty epic. I did have a few complaints though. The main character, F, he's so boring and dumb. I wish the show would stop focusing on his family more and start focusing on his detective skills. I'm not liking his character more than I like the Exterminator. You know, the rat catcher. We've only seen him a little bit, and he's thus far my favorite character. We also saw that Samwise Gamgee is an asshole who is working for those bad guys, but hopefully his conscience will get the better of him and he'll finally fess up and, you know, tell people what he's done. I'm still waiting to see how this all plays out with the vampires and all. One thing I do want to know is when the guy who detached his dick, at one point in the scene, he's all blah, I'm sick, blah, and then when he goes into the bathroom and that thing happens, he turns towards the camera and he seems like a different person. Does the worm, after a while, give the host sort of understanding of what they are? Because a lot of the times, it seems that they're confused as to what's happening to them, and then all of a sudden the confusion disappears. I really want to know that. I stress, not stressed, I get annoyed when a lot of things like that aren't answered, but overall, it was a cool episode. I did like it. I especially enjoy the fact that these vampires, while monstrous in appearance, don't seem to have incredible powers of super strength or speed, which is evident towards the final fight in towards the end of the episode. It seems that only the older ones do, like the boss vampires and the one who works under him, which reminds me, prop goes to the first opening scene of this episode. The guy who was, the guy who's been, you know, the ones going around pulling on the strings, he was putting on his face, and like the makeup was all cool and shit. I love stuff like that. So more of that, please. But overall, great episode. I really enjoy it. The second episode got me going downhill on watching it more, but the third one has really brought me back up. Hopefully the fourth one can deliver just as much, because as I always say, when it comes to any new show, I usually give it 3 or 4 episodes to help me decide if I want to engage in watching this thing more often, and so far it's doing a slightly good job. If the 4th episode turns out to be really great, I will continue to follow it, and here's hoping. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thanks for watching.